Now, I say this as someone who did.
Okay.
So,
Whoops.
in my experience, alcohol did nothing but suspend the pain even further. It numbed me. It let me get loose and have like a good time with my friends. But what's funny is like alcohol is a depressant. So you're trying to numb yourself for a moment by like cure your depression with a depressant, something that will ultimately make you more depressed.
Yeah.
And it creates a really negative, unhealthy cycle.
Yes, I started drinking after my divorce, and I quit drinking, funny enough, a little bit before we got married. So I was sober for almost 10 years,
Wow.
9.5 years.
Like completely? Like you never had a social drink or anything?
Nothing.
Wow.
Not one, not nothing.
I knew that you didn't. I remembered you saying that you didn't drink, but I guess I just assumed you probably had like social drinks here and there,
Nope.
but nothing.
Nothing.
Wow.
I refused. And then when we got a divorce, and I figured I was in this very sad, depressed state, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna start drinking. And I got blacked out drunk a couple times. You've heard stories about me puking at Casey. That was a couple times.
Yeah.
Not my finest moments in life.
You know what? We've all been there.
But I'm glad I got it out of my system.
Yeah.
Because, that 2019 was possibly one of the worst years of my life. Because towards the end of 2018 is when we split up. Split up, hit puberty there for a second. And then that's when I didn't know what to do with my life, and I turned to the bottle, and I didn't turn to my friends.
Yeah.
And that was a mistake. Oh my God. And then I tried to confine in women, and that didn't help. It was just a bad combination. But I'm glad I went through that dark period because I became a better man in the end. I learned that you got to turn to people you love during a dark period in your life. Because those people are, if they're your true friends and they love you like they say they love you, they're going to be there for you no matter what. And you should be able to text them when you're going through a bad time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did in this past, not past, say it like it was yesterday, but last relationship that ended very badly with my ex-fiance. I didn't turn to the bottle. Like, I had maybe some social drinks, just to, because I was sad. But I turned to my friends. Like, I reached out to them. I let them know that I was not mentally okay. And they helped me through a very dark time in my life. And I'm very grateful for that. So I guess my 2 cents of getting through this breakup is reach out to people you love. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid. Don't close yourself off. That's the worst thing you're going to do is being trapped in your mind.
Yeah. I forgot to put this down, but that do not isolate was one of the things I wanted to talk about, because there's kind of two coins to that. So do not isolate to the point where you have no support system to help you through a dark time. Like you said, that is so imperative to your healing. But also, on the flip side of that, allow yourself alone time to process and to feel and go through the emotions that you need to go through. Just make sure that you have someone knows what's going on, and there's someone there that you can reach out to when you're ready to talk and ready ready to have that support in your life.
Exactly. You don't want to sit there and be alone in your head all day. For the most part, the best way I can describe it was staying very busy, very productive, and then kind of thinking about it at nighttime.
I mean, that kind of moves us into the next topic that I had down, which was things to do after a breakup.
Perfect. You want to occupy your time after a breakup in productive.
I had down, be a busy bee.
Yeah, there you go.
BBB.
Be a busy bee. If you don't have hobbies, find a hobby.
Yep.
If you have hobbies, do more of that hobby. If you have a hobby, find more hobbies.
All the hobbies. You get a hobby, and you get a hobby.
Exactly. If you don't go to the gym, start going to the gym. Put your time in the gym. If you crochet,
super active.
Yeah. Okay. Like I can maybe for some people, like if you crochet or like do puzzles, it might take your mind off of it. But for me, I would be sitting there contemplating.
Which might not be a bad thing. Like that could be something that you do during your alone time that helps you concentrate and process. But
I'm thinking of like activities that like going to the gym, like where you're focused on one thing. Like you can't sit there, you can't think about your ex while you're trying to do 100-pound deadlift, 500-pound deadlift.
Or you're trying to lift the weights over your head.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can't focus on your ex while you're sitting there like killing these reps.
Yeah.
Like if you go to a jiu-jitsu class, you can't sit there and roll on the mats and be crying over your ex. It's just not going to work. So I think you should do hobbies where it like occupies your mind so you can't focus on that person.
Yeah, I mean, like, so I had similar things written down to talk about, and I put specifically what brings you joy, and do more of that. So some examples that you gave, and some other examples too, like, if you love going to live music, find all of the concerts you can and go. Find some friends to go with.
Yeah.
Painting is another thing that is kind of a hobby, but you're focusing on creating something, so it gets your mind off of things.
That's a good one.
Reading, you're immersing yourself in someone else's story, so you don't have time to think about your own because you're reading someone else's.
Right.
Going to the movies, go kayaking, go hiking, anything that gets you active and gets your body moving. Not only is it getting your mind off of it, but you're also doing something to better yourself.
I think for a guy, if you don't know how to cook, start cooking.
That's a great one, yeah. Learn new things.
Bitches love guys that can cook.
That's right, baby. My man can cook. He cooked me breakfast this morning.
I did. And help with dinner.
You did, yeah. Team effort.
Team effort.
That's what we do best.
Yeah. I mean, I think that any skill a guy can learn, maybe through, like, going through a breakup, that will better you in the future, will better you towards a relationship.
Make you stronger and better for a healthy relationship.
More reliable. Like, well, this guy is in shape. This guy can cook. This guy cleans. This guy takes care of himself. They're going to see this new version of you, the best version of you, through this breakup, and they're going to be like, whoa, fuck whoever he was with. This is the person I want to be with.
Isn't that kind of funny? Because that's literally stuff that I've said. Is like, well, fuck them. Like, how did they pass up on this man? But like, also thank you because I am head over heels in love with him.
Well, my thing is the man that I'm now is because of the breakups I went through. So
I would counter that and say it's not because of the breakups that you went through, but it's because of the inner work that you did because of those breakups.
A little bit of both, honestly. Because if it wasn't for the breakups, I don't know where I would be.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I see that.
But thanks to the breakups, I found out the man that I didn't want to be.
Yeah.
And through that, that's when I started focusing on myself and not, giving a fuck about anybody else. I mean that in the best way. I mean, like of course I cared about my family and stuff like that when I was going through my breakup and my friends, but like I didn't care about anything else other than...
You weren't concerned with the opinions and...
Yeah, I wasn't concerned with opinions of people and the breakup. I wasn't concerned with the person that I broke up with.
Yeah.
I was concerned about making James the best version of James.
Yeah.
And I think that when you go through the breakup, I think that's what you should be focusing on, like fixing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you think you're perfect and there's nothing wrong with you, you might need to go to therapy. Honestly, because nobody's perfect. And if you are in touch with yourself to realize where you fucked up and how you fucked up, from this point forward, you can be the version of you that you want to be, because the next person that comes into your life will not know the past you.
Right.
I'm not saying lie and manipulate them. I'm saying change yourself into the man that you want to be or woman that you want to be.
Yeah.
This person doesn't need to know about your past. Mm-hmm. Like, I believe that when you get with somebody, you shouldn't be worried about their past. Because if you dig deep enough, you're going to find something you don't like about somebody. That's just how it is. Everybody's got skeletons in their closet. If you're with this person that you meet and y'all have great conversations, y'all hit it off, y'all have everything in common, everything works, what is the point of bringing up the past?
You mean like your past mistakes?
Yeah, like relationship-wise.
Yeah.
Like, what good... I mean, unless it's like something traumatic that happened that you feel like needs to be brought up.
So they can understand like your triggers and things like that.
Yeah, so they can understand some triggers like that. But they don't need to know about your cussing fights and shit she threw at you, or her hitting you, unless that's important that that you bring something like that up. Mm-hmm. Like, say you're in a relationship or you're talking to someone and you tell them, this got, some triggers. Like, I tell you, I don't like to be hit in the face.
Right.
Like played with or anything like that. It's just a trigger. It's okay to tell them little things like that. Say, I've been hit in the past with my ex and everything, and it's just kind of a trigger for me. That's not my case. I'm just doing it for instance. And you can be brief with it. Be like, my ex kind of did that. And if they ask about it, just be like, it was a little dispute, don't really want to talk about it. It's, some things were said on both parties, and things got out of hand. Keep it very brief, very subtle. Don't even need to bring it up. You got a funny look on your face.
Yeah, I guess just because you and I are really transparent with each other and we tell each other everything.
Well, I'm saying...
Like in the early stages?
In the early stages.
I got you.
Like, you don't want to sit there... Okay, like, you don't want to trauma dump on somebody.
Yeah.
Like, that you just met and you're talking to.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm referring to. So let me break it down a little bit more. Like, when you meet somebody, you don't have to sit there and trauma dump your whole fucking life on them.
Yeah.
Now, through time, in conversation, like I was trying to say, you can tell them,
yeah.
As
things get more serious.
Yeah, as things get more serious, because you don't need to sit there and give them your whole fucking life story.